let's go on with the interview. First of all, how does it feel sharing the new album with something like 30 journalists through Zoom?
Strange.
Yeah. I'm the singer of Helloween. And I kill mosquitoes.
Yeah, we got a mosquito because the sun went down just half an hour ago, and when it's getting dark, the mosquitoes are coming in. Because today it was really hot, so unfortunately, when it's hot, the mosquitoes are coming.
So how did it feel sharing your new album with 30 journalists through Zoom?
Well, it was thrilling, definitely, but it was what's the right word? A bit inconvenient. Because normally you would have like 20, 25 people down there in the studio listening to it, and you have like direct eye contact, and everything is like personal. Now, being in a video conference, it's a lot of chaos sometimes because a lot of people are talking, and then you have to wait until finally one is coming through and the rest is finally shutting up. So in real life, that it's so much easier. But hey, at the end of the day, it worked, and I'm happy that it works that way, that we have a chance to do it that way. And I just had an interview with a German guy, and I told him, look, I mean, the pandemic hit us in the middle of the mixdown. So their technique was always and also there for us, because we did not have to fly to New York for the mixdown, but we connected with New York with fiberglass, and we had a real-time connection. We had the guys on the screen in my studio down there. We had them on the screen. They had us on screen in New York. We saw the mixing board in New York. They saw our session of the Pro Tools where all the production at the end of the day was put in. We could actually remotely control New York, and they could remotely control us. So this was fantastic. So technique helps a lot.
Yes, technology helps a lot. And can you tell me now, was it difficult to work in the studio with 3 guitars and 3 vocalists? How were these things divided, split between you? Because okay, you play on stage, it's fine, but when you record, things are getting a bit more messier, I would say.
Well, I think the most stressy part was definitely arranging who plays what. That same for Michael and myself. The singing itself was not stressy at all, but to finally find out, okay, you sing this, I sing that. I'm doing the undervoice, you're doing the overvoice, or vice versa. The arrangement took a lot of time because we always had to record it to check it out. So Michael recorded his voice, I put my voice over him. Do we like it? It's not bad, isn't it? Let's try the other way around. Okay, now I'm singing the main voice, Michael is over me. Do we like it more? Nah, we'd rather go with the first version, eh? Okay, now we do the first version for real. And it sounds like when you're 2 or 3 singers, you only have half or third of work. But at the end of the day, because of the arrangements, you had double as much work. Because you always had to record it, listen to it, decide, or no, rather let's do it the other way around, so record another, and so on and what so forth. Being one singer in a band means I just record everything. I have to record it anyway, so there's no question about it. So you come out of the studio at like 10:30 in the night with such a hit. But not because of singing, but because of concentration. Concentration. Thankfully, it was Michael, because we had a lot of fun. We had our red wine, and we did kind of a hobbyish thing. But at 10:30, you felt that it was actually a long, stressy day. And the same for the guitarist.
Yeah, but you can have another record with alternate versions with another singer or another guitar.
And do it all over.
You can get those.
Yeah, exactly.
Another, you can have Helloween alternate version, another double record, for example?
Well, we did that. We did that on Skyfall.
Yeah.
On Skyfall, we
So I
have
guess you can...
three different versions. Versions where Michael sings the verses, versions where I sing the verses, versions where Michael and I sing different refrains. At the end of the day, the one who made it to the album is I sing only part-wise verses, some middle parts, but all the upper voices on the refrains.
Mm-hmm.
So that version made it to the album.
So Kai Hansen has only written one track, though it's a 12-minute song.
Yeah.
It's the first single, is the last song of the album. In fact, I was expecting more songs by Kai, but if you say it minute-wise, it's not that big of a difference, that much of a difference.
Nope.
How did you decide to split the writing procedures? Because there are way too many songwriters in Helloween, and each one has its own share, let's say, in the album.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you have to decide what the album what makes it round. So there are 2 or 3 songs that definitely fall off the hook because they would not fit into that thing. So you don't want to have a black sheep in between white sheeps, or you don't want to have one white sheep between the black sheeps. So wherever the album is leading to, you have to actually kick out this or that song. It's always been like that. So I remember, for example, when we wrote back in the days, The Dark Ride, for example. The Dark Ride, there were 3 or 4 happy songs from Waiki and one happy song from myself. Would never fit into the concept. I mean, you have an album which is pretty much dark.
You know how it is, yeah.
And then you suddenly have like a happy. Doesn't work. So you have to get rid of these songs, even strong songs. I mean, probably super great songs, but when they don't fit onto an album, the people will not accept it. Definitely not. But
is this a reason?
It's still a song. It's still there for the next album, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Is that the reason why you chose not to have a ballad in the album?
Well, the ballad is one of the examples. A ballad would have fitted very nicely onto the album if it would hit the vibe of the overall feeling you have. Certainly not a happy thing. That would not fit onto this album. It's more mysterious. But if it would be a mysterious kind of ballad, it would fit. But we have a ballad. We have recorded a ballad. Unfortunately, we arranged it before actually catching the vibe of the album. So it was arranged during the time when nobody knew that this album will be a more mystical vibe. And suddenly you had a great ballad, but it was not mystical. It doesn't fit. So we will definitely record it for the next album and rearrange it back to what it used to be. Because would we have recorded it the way it was on the demo, then it would perfectly fit onto this album, but we didn't. So
it's
beautiful.
I can understand that the album was written before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's quite old for you now. I mean, you have written the songs about 1.5 years back.
More or less.
Something like that. More or less, yeah. Don't you feel the need to write new songs now?
No, not at all, because accidentally there are a few lyrics, a few songs on the album which fit perfectly into the time. So there were quite a few journalists who thought that these songs were written because of the pandemic. So actually, the songs written who people remind at the pandemic is exactly the songs which were actually against these things that happen now. So loss of your freedom, for example, or people from above who tell you how to lead your life. Even if you say, yes, there's a pandemic going on, I think the way they handle it is definitely not right. I mean, you should definitely not handle it the way they do, because there are too many existences who go down big time now. Lots of people dying because of what we do to fight the pandemic. I personally think you could have fought the pandemic in a much, much better way. See, for example, Sweden. Sweden did it the right way. They actually had their law in place already. If something like this happens, we do this and this and this, and they did it. So people automatically had more distance. People who were over 80 years were protected from the rest, and everything is fine. More or less good. So we could have treated it like that. Distancing, those who need a mask, wear a mask. And whenever you feel sick, you go to the doctor and say, hey, look, if I got it, or maybe it's just the flu. But the way we treated it here in Spain in the beginning in April, it was pretty much the same as in Germany. Everybody who had a flu coming up was running to the hospital, and they were completely overcrowded. They did not know where to go with the patients anymore. There were too many people. They were kind of in a nightmare, because everybody was just thinking for his own ass. Oh, I got a flu, so I got the big virus. And this is some egoistic shit going down, which actually caused a lot of casualties, because suddenly there were way too many people in the hospitals. If I would just stay at home with the flu and wait, I will not die the next day or the very next day. And even when I can't feel a cough coming up, it's not too late to save my life. But to go into a hospital because of a flu, sorry, that's too much ego for me.
Mm-hmm. There has been quite a discussion in the social media about naming the album Helloween. To me, it sounds pretty obvious. You know, big return of previous members,
Yeah.
a new start for the band. But you have already an EP named Helloween. Don't you think it might bring up some confusion or something like that?
Yeah, there was a little talk about it, but then again, the majority of the fans and people we talked with who know Helloween, they did not even know that there was an EP called Helloween. So, and even when you now see the cover album Helloween, like with the picturesque cover and everything, I don't think that the people think that this is the EP. Why? No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about the cover, I could say this cover is impressive. I mean,
It's beautiful.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And there are several hints about your previous albums on the. I can see a pumpkin though. Is there a pumpkin somewhere, or it's in the logo?
It's in the logo, and it will be inside, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, it's always cool. We had 4 different covers, I think, and 3 of them were full with pumpkins, but unfortunately, not bad covers, good covers, but way too comic, way too funny, way too cheesy for for the feeling that the album brings across. I mean, when you listen to the album, it's not very much comic or happy, happy, happy. It's very mysterious. It's very complicated. It's going through ups and downs and feelings, but the happy parts are only middle parts, where it's going a bit more happy, but the song itself is not happy. So there's not even one song which you would call a happy song. Maybe Mass Pollution, but that's, I don't know. It's a
With this
part.
kind of lyrics, I couldn't describe it as a happy song.
Exactly. It's a party song, but it's not a happy song. So
Yeah.
it was quite clear that the first three cover suggestions were good, but definitely not fitting the album. And then this guy painted it on oil, this cover that we have now, and we were blown away. It's like, wow, let's do this oil painting, finish it, then let's photograph it in the best resolution you have, and then digitally do little things and correct it. And that's the way we went, because we all saw the picture and we're like, wow, beautiful. You have to see the original. It's like big. It's really
Who
nice.
will get who will get it in his house?
I just hope it will end in our rehearsal room.
I saw in the video, in the lyric video we saw for Cyanide, this spaceship had HW07. What does it mean?
HW07?
Yeah, it was all over the place. Is it something mystical, or it was just something?
HW07. No, don't ring the bell.
Okay. So it's nothing. It's nothing in particular. Did you feel stressful during the making of the album because of all these high expectations? Did you feel you had to live up to the expectation, the high expectations of your fans? It's another thing to play live, to play your songs. It's another thing to create new songs with people expecting way too much from this lineup.
Well, expectations, you know that there are always expectations with each and every album, but for this one, definitely there are the highest expectations, because the old new singer and the old new guitarist, and now is there
the old new or the new old?
That's the good question, because I'm the new old.
You are the new old.
No, yeah,
Old than the new.
I'm always the
older.
new old. I'm always the new old because I'm older than Michael.
Okay. And you are as old as Mickey D, for example, in Motorhead. You know, he's the new drummer of Motorhead. Even if he played for Motorhead for 25 years, even if you are singing for so many years,
that's
you're
why Michael,
young at heart.
Michael now is the old new singer. We haven't figured it out yet. I have to discuss it again with Michael. We haven't figured it out yet.
And split the roles. Split the roles. Who will be who? Who will be who? How did you decide to release a single counting 20 minutes? Before answering, I have to tell you that by listening to the song, I think that every one of us was blown away. It was like, oh man, what did we just hear? It's obvious when you listen to the song, it's obvious that it's going to be a single, a video, or something like that, even if it's 12 minutes long. But was it kind of tricky for you to release the first single 12-minute song?
Well, it was tricky to release the original 12-minute song. That's actually what we had in mind. But then when we shot the video, we realized you can't do it, because a 12-minute song in the video, you could easily spend, I don't want to name a number, but a lot of money. And so we had to break it down to cut it down to what it is now. I think we cut out 4.5 minutes. I think personally, but that's musician talk, I think it's castrated. It's still there. The song is there. But the original is a journey, and now it's just a little excursion. It's nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In the park.
It's not a journey as it used to be, because when you listen to the whole song with all the great, I mean, this outro is just, for me, mind stunning. I mean, it's wow, and you're just so lost in it, and yeah, it's a journey, and you wake up from it. Now with a short video cut thing, yeah, it's not short, I know, but nevertheless,
yeah, okay. It's 7.5. Okay.
It's 7.5, but for me, lots of good things are missing. So it's just a nice excursion instead of a great journey. So that's a big difference.
I guess that the second single or another single would be The Best Time, which is destined to be this. Did you feel that you needed to write another I Want Out for this album?
No, not really. I mean, honestly, there was just this the riff that I was so hooked when Sasha played it. Was it's so easy, but so hooky that it needs to be done, because you know the easy things that catch you are the most difficult things to write. That's what I realized. So suddenly there is one of these easy hooks who catch you, or at least I was catched in a second. So
Yeah.
in itself, this theme is it's a I want out hook thing in itself. The rhythm is, it's already there. If you sum it like it's tukutak, so it's I want out suddenly. But
Yeah.
that wasn't the intention of Sasha, I think, but it's just the riff that gives you the rhythm. And suddenly when I had the idea with the verse and the bridge and we arranged the refrain, suddenly you had something like an I want out vibe because of the tempo. But I think the song itself is not really that, it's more not that happy again, that happy I want out thing. It's more that a bit more party best time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a party song, but still it's got depth, I think. So it's not as happy and funny as I Want Out, but it's definitely one of those follow-ups I could see,
Mm-hmm.
which fits perfectly because Helloween is always known for songs like I Want Out, Future World,
Dr. Steen.
Dr. Steen, later on with If I Could Fly. So these are all these mid-tempo rockers, which fortunately we may write. So being the inventors of melodic power metal would mean you always are damned to only write power metal songs. But Helloween never only wrote power metal songs. It's just pop metal stuff that, like I Want Out, for example, and people accept it. And that's great because sometimes you may write stuff like that, which is sometimes cheesy, but with a name like Helloween, you are allowed to be cheesy, I think.
So we have lots of things to discuss later in the interview, the bigger interview that we'll do prior to the release of the album. We just going to get the gist of what is being heard in Helloween. And in the conversation we had in the press conference we had, it was heard that Jens Johansson from Stradivarius played certain keyboard parts.
Yeah.
How did this come? No one knew about this. How did this collaboration?
Jens is a friend of everybody because we've been on tour for I don't know how many months with Stradivarius, and yeah, you always call a friend when there's something, you know. I mean, so Jens is one of the greatest keyboard players that I know. So yeah, you call him if you need something.
So yeah, of course, yeah. How does it feel to be in a band for so many years? In my opinion, you have saved Helloween's ass, being there at the right place in the right time. And you see suddenly, yeah, yeah. But when you join Helloween, I think that and created, let's say, a second wave of Helloween fans in your era, which is pretty amazing for a band that has, for the inventors of power metal, as you name it.
Yeah.
You suddenly see two singers come in. Not only one, it's Kai. Let's not forget him. Does it feel comfortable, even though it's obvious that you and Michael are great friends, are going along very well, and certainly it's comfortable live when he sings his own parts.
For me, it was a win in the lottery, because I never made a secret out of it that Michael Kiske songs for me is very, very hard to sing, because I always explained to people that it's not only for me, probably for every singer, it would be very, very, very hard to combine two singing styles in one concert. So with the singing style I introduced in The Master of the Rings, you are damaging yourself in favor of the technique high voice. So when you really do the rock and roll out of the stomach thing, then the high voice, the technique up there, is getting worse and worse and worse with every minute you sing out of the stomach. So Michael Kiske songs were for me always a nightmare, because the Master of the Rings songs were the songs, I think back in the days on the tour, we played 8 songs from the Master of the Rings. And these 8 songs were killing my voice in respect that I had to sing now clean technique voice after it. That's nearly impossible. If you tell me go on and sing 2 hours Master of the Rings shit, no problem.
Okay,
But
yeah, understand.
Tell me to sing only Michael Kiske songs for the first 2 or 3 songs of a concert, that's doable. I will never sound as good as Michael, but it's doable. I can reach a technique, I can catch the heights, even though I don't sound as great as Michael up there, but I can do it, nevertheless. But if you tell me mix it, sing an Andi song, sing a Michael song, it kills you. It kills you. So when Michael finally came back to the band, I was so, it's like, oh, it's so good, because I love the songs, and I always felt sorry sometimes when I knew my voice was fucked up again, and then you had to force yourself to try to sing as good as possible these great Michael tunes, and I was not happy. Sometimes I was really hating it, and now it's so easy.
You cannot have a Helloween show without singing Future World, I Want Out, The Tale That Wasn't Right. You have to sing these songs, and you have to sing them well, because you will be criticized heavily if you don't sing them well.
Exactly. And now we're in the great situation that Michael is singing the Michael songs, and I just appear as a guest singer sometimes, and because my voice is
okay.
For 20 seconds I can push it, and I shine like a diamond, but after 22 seconds I would already sound fucked up again, you know what I mean?
So you go the mature way, I'm the mature singer,
Exactly.
the new old mature singer, or the old new.
Exactly.
We do not discuss about Kai's era of Helloween.
Yeah. Okay. Kai.
Let him sing the Words of Jericho stuff.
Yeah, but Kai's stuff is easy to sing for me, because he is more in my direction. He is that brutal out of his ass, and he feels like crying and yelling. Then he cries and shouts and yells because it just feels like. But if you have to think about after this song I have to sing Eagle Fly Free, then you should keep your mouth shut, not shout, not yell, and you have to concentrate, and everything is concentration, and be cool, stay cool. But because after this song you have to sing Eagle Fly Free, it's not fun, Now I can do whatever I want. And Michael would tell you the same.
Yeah.
Michael would tell you the same. He would tell you, man, I'm so happy that I don't need to sing these hard songs Andi sings. Yeah. Because it would fuck up my voice. I said, yeah, it's the same thing.
It's two completely different techniques that will damage your vocal cords.
Exactly. At least when you sing Michael stuff, your voice is so tender and so nicely shaped that when you're warmed up, you cannot cry and shout and yell, because you're in that technique. Vice versa, it's same for me. Vice versa, if I shout and yell, I can't go up there. It's gone. It's only So the combination is perfect, because sometimes you need hard voices over soft voice, or a soft voice over hard voice, and now here we are. Just don't tell me to sing the soft stuff, and don't tell Michael to sing the hard stuff. There you go.
So we have two singers for that, which is the most comfortable situation someone can meet in a band.
Absolutely.
So it's great.
Yeah, let's be honest.
The fans love it.
Let's be honest about it, because for Michael and me, that's the biggest advantage. for the guitarists, sometimes, because it means Waiki, for example, has finally the luxury to say, I'm off, I have to piss. Because there's still two other guitarists. Yeah. Well, I do remember back in the days, I mean, there must have been dozens and dozens and dozens of concerts where Sasha suddenly was playing alone because Waiki had to pee. You know, suddenly the guitar was missing. I said, where's Waiki? Oh, he's pissing. Okay. You know, so the
From
only
the
guy.
cappuccinos. It's from the cappuccinos he's drinking.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only guy who is suffering is Dani on the drums.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you got two singers, so suddenly you're capable of doing longer shows. But that means for Dani, one drummer doing a long show with that style of music, that's sometimes torture.
And getting Ingo's drum kit doesn't help, unfortunately.
No, no. Not really.
But it's something that it was a move that was spot on. It's both. It has a connection with Helloween's past, strong connection, and it has given something different to the sound of the album.
It definitely, because the Sonophonic Plus is not produced anymore, that type of drums. So I got the predecessor. No, I got the follow-up drums, the Sonor Designers. They sound great as well. I mean, you've heard them on the previous albums from Helloween, but they are sounding way too modern. If you want to have that old vibe from the 80s with the production technique from nowadays, yes, but still you want to capture that old sound. No chance with the Sonor Designer that I had downstairs. Doesn't work. It's not voluminous enough. It's not. I don't know. That's the old sound of the old drums. They don't go. They go. And you have to actually. It's like a stallion, and you have to learn to ride it. To make some out of the kick is work. You have to turn the knobs on the analog board, and you have to have the help of the tape machine. It doesn't work in any other way. And that's what I liked about sound engineering back in the days. Actually, you always had to fight against the tape, because the tape was destroying everything if you did not actually put the right volume and the right frequencies into it. But that made the sound. Nowadays, what you hear is what you get. You make a tuk tuk tuk, you record it digitally, and what comes out is tuk tuk tuk, exactly the same. So there's, it's I don't know, but you'll never get that punch from the 80s. You'll never get it when you don't have a tape machine. Don't get it. It's impossible. There are no digital plugins who honestly simulate the real thing. They all say they do, but they don't.
Great. So Andi, that's all for me right now. We have lots more to talk before, right before the release of the album. We'll do another interview. I think people got the gist of what's going on in the new Helloween album. So thank you very much for sharing your time with us. And from the time that we won't see you in Greece, and when we won't see any band in Greece.
Well, I hope that there's a slight chance that some festivals will happen in summer, but we don't know yet. But might be a chance. In summer times, normally there is no flu going on, so maybe they loosen everything and back to normal for a while. I don't know.
Let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. Even if we see you this year or next year, we'll definitely see you. It's booked. We know that, and you have a great record to tour with. So, wish you the best. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Wish the best of luck with your new album, which is a killer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, talk soon.
Talk soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Andi. Bye-bye. Thank you.